All right, today we have a new category, canceled creations. To poorly quote John Steinbeck, despite the best laid plans of mice and men, many projects never reach distribution, or even production in some cases. So, there also have to be some stories about films I was a part of that never came out for one reason or another. So today's lesson, don't be a jack of all trades for a large project. You'll spread yourself too thin. In the 21st century, everyone pushes creatives to be a jack of all trades, an all-in-one studio essentially that's hireable as one individual and can deliver a product without getting anyone else involved. But they fail to factor in how much longer it takes someone to do all the work themselves, or how much of a toll it can take on both the product and the person. Story number 1, fall 2011. So the Horror Motion Picture Conservatory's fall season wrapped up, but there was an opportunity for horror students to volunteer at and attend the Carmel Art and Film Festival. And that revitalized people before the next season because it was such a fantastic experience. Networking at film festivals can be incredible for everyone, from directors to musicians to painters. There's a ton of people who attend the film festivals who have had a hand in entertainment in some capacity or another and are looking to network. So make connections, add people on social media. For example, after the premiere of a film called Fred and Vinny, I met and became Facebook friends with an actor named Fred Stoller. I occasionally still like his posts to this day, and that was back in 2011. Then when I was walking into the premiere of J. Edgar with some of the other horror students, a woman waved to get my attention and introduced herself as Drew Barrymore's aunt. She said, "Pleased to meet you, Mr. Franco," because James Franco was there that weekend as well, and apparently he and I looked pretty similar because we both had facial hair at the time. I explained who I was, and the way she said it stuck with me. She said, "James Franco looks like you." Not that I looked like him, that he looked like me, so that was a joke in my friend group for a while. "Franco? No, Miss Barrymore. Him would. I'm the celebrity. He looks like me. We were in high school, we ran with it." Unfortunately, there was a power outage during the premiere, so we never saw the end of the movie. I believe Clint Eastwood was understandably very upset about that, since he had both directed the film and introduced it before the screening. Tickets also cost $500 a seat, so I'm sure the audience was very upset too. Luckily, the Horror Motion Picture Conservatory had managed to get us in over $5,000 worth of free tickets, absolutely for free. So we weren't upset, we were just happy to be in the room at all. We even got to screen our short films at the festival again, so we had no complaints whatsoever. And after that brief exposure to celebrity, we were excited about filmmaking again. And 3 of the ATAEC 5 signed up for the Horror Motion Picture Conservatory's 5th season in winter 2011. This season was similar to their very first season, the one that got Instructions Not Included made. But as the season went on, we started to get worried about the direction this new film was headed in. And a number of the students wrote a letter to ask for changes. The original intent was to make a film that was also a documentary about making that film, but we got worried that both products would suffer if our attention was split between the two. So I actually wrote to the teachers about our worries, I believe because the other students had asked me to, because I was closer to the horror staff. And to improve the film overall, I was willing to take a more behind-the-scenes role as the assistant director so that we could get a more focused narrative that wasn't spread too thin. And to Mike and Brittany's credit, they made changes after that. The documentary concept was dropped, and the focus became on making one feature film, same as they had with Instructions Not Included. And I think that was the right choice. December 19th, 2011. The film that came out of that season was called A Long Shot, and it was about high school students on a college tour who got trapped in a room on the college campus. There were 3 distinct plot lines that led people to getting into that room. What felt like the main storyline was a drama that focused on an impoverished artistic actor with a hearing-impaired friend. There were side plots about 2 sisters and a couple that had dated in middle school, also dramas that fit in fairly well. But then there was the ATAEC storyline, which was more of an action thriller. The 3 of the ATAEC 5 that appeared in A Long Shot essentially got our own part of the film that felt distinct and almost out of place compared to the rest of the movie. almost like we got a 20-minute James Bond film in the middle of it. Sometimes I wonder if the film that we made as our USC application video didn't play into why we got that part. We got to do all sorts of stunts for that film in a running away segment that was totally unnecessary, but a lot of fun to do. Hardcore parkour. There was a femme fatale villain, there was a quick costume change shot, and shockingly, a seduce the teacher moment that had all of us laughing for ages. That sort of thing is unforgettable when you're in high school. But we had something else on our minds as well. I was interested in music, as was one of the other members of the ATAEC 5, and we wanted to drop a song for the rolling credits at the end of the film. However, we both had multiple jobs in a long shot already. We were both acting in it. I was the assistant director. He and I were editing the film together, and he was making instrumental music for it while I was color grading the footage. Not to mention being full-time high school students on top of that. We also only had from January to May to do everything. Therefore, although we did test recordings and we started to make the track, it was just never finished in time, and it wasn't included in the film when it premiered that spring. Now, we didn't get in trouble for this because, one, we were doing so many other things for the film, they were lucky to have gotten any product out at all. And two, my friend used an instrumental track or something, so it wasn't silent during the credits, so we did the work and had a product to turn in. However, it can be a serious issue to overpromise and come up short in the professional world. So if you're taking on multiple hats in the same film, make sure you have support through crew members or assistants, or pre-produce the hell out of it beforehand so you've already done as much of the work as possible before you get to production. That's something I generally recommend on every project, no matter what, but I know in real life that happens a lot less often than you'd expect, especially on major studio productions. I don't understand how a major studio can put $25-50 million into a project that doesn't have a finished script yet. I don't understand how things can get greenlit before they're even ready. But anyway, fun fact one. On May 11th, 2012, a long shot had a premiere similar to Instructions Not Included. Hara rented another limo, everyone dressed up, we took photos on the red carpet and felt very fancy for a little bit. Lots of group photos, walking down the carpet photos, but no one ever paid for any of these pictures, so everything looks a little blurry and watermarked. I'm sure it was just what was, posted online by the company that took the photos, and we just downloaded them. I asked another friend to go with me because the woman I was dating was overseas, and that was how I accidentally started a pattern. I've never taken someone I'm dating to a film premiere. I've taken multiple friends, but I've never taken a girlfriend because the timing or the details just never worked out. To be honest, I was always a little frustrated by that fact, but I had fun that day all the same. In some ways, this was a more mature film than Instructions Not Included, with topics not seen in the first feature.
I don't have a choice. I need this job, and I can't call in sick because they know I was trying to get someone to cover for me.
Liza,
I'm sorry, but there's no point in me going on a college tour when I'm not going to go to college.
But its disjointedness and the open ending left people a little unsure of the message behind the film.
where did you guys go when you left the tour?
Dean told you.
We all know you're lying.
All in all, the premiere went well, if still a little long. Mark Paulus had been hired to run this premiere again, and I remember I had to talk my dad out of chewing him out at the premiere that night because my dad was furious over what Mark had done during the Tom Rigney and Flambeau video fiasco. But that's another story. Fun fact, too. Growing up, my dad always joked that I should listen to rap music but not perform it because I wasn't black, which I always found a little ironic because he grew up in the 1950s and played harmonica and found old blues musicians to be inclusive, as long as the music was played traditionally. I grew up listening to Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mike Shinoda, 50 Cent, Pitbull, Snoop Dogg, Daddy Yankee, Calle 13, so I always saw hip-hop and rap as a little more multiracial than that. However, hearing those jokes as a child still gave me some hesitation to make music when I was little. It feels a little different in the 2020s. Today, many countries on Earth have their own style of rap music, from Korean rap to Brazilian rap. It's probably similar to picking up rock and roll in the 1950s versus the 1990s. As something moves in popularity from being a racially popular thing to a more nationally popular thing, more groups of people join in. For example, Elvis was vilified for stealing rock music from black people in the 1950s. But by the time the Foo Fighters dropped their first album in 1995, there wasn't race-related backlash to that. We're just starting to see reggaeton, which many people see as a Latino offshoot of rap as well, make that same transition in the US today as non-Latino musicians begin to feature reggaeton musicians and incorporate reggaeton beats into their own tracks, in some ways rejoining rap music again. I'm not a music historian or anything, but it's fascinating to watch music evolve over time as more and more cultures blend into what reaches the Billboard Top 100. Anyway, that's my lesson, story, and fun facts for the day. I tried to include info for friends, family, filmmakers, festival goers, entrepreneurs, film students, and more, so hopefully you learned something along the way.
How can I hack into the Academy of Arts student application files?
Why?
I gotta get into the school. I kinda sent in my Ninja vs. Samurai soundtrack from freshman year. I am so screwed.
Wait. Okay. I have a plan.
But at the end of the day, it's always a little sad, at least a little bit, to see a project you've worked on never see the light of day. However, I found an early recording and managed to splice it in. Is it good? Not even the best we could do at the time. This was not supposed to be a final recording, so no one's ever heard it and no one was supposed to hear it. But here it is anyway.
Welcome to the future of American cinema. Up. I will see you all in the fall.
Yeah, we're going to college, gonna get some more knowledge, but I already know it, so tell me how can I show it? And you know I'm doing nothing but yawning and trying to understand what the teacher's drawing. And damn it, I wasted $20,000 on some private lessons, but I was only trying to get and deserve all my parents' blessings, tests, exams, and all of the pressure that's building inside me. How come my parents know all of the things that make it so hard to get just to be free? I wanna be a rapper. It's me, I gotta be a rapper. But why you always wanna make me do all these math problems? Think I'm losing my dreams, fool? Think I might be done with schools. You know I gotta go, make my own rules. Do what you like, love what you do, and ask yourself the question, what you wanna do? Trapped in the school, trapped in the school. I gotta get out, man, it just ain't cool. Trapped in the school, trapped in the school. I can find a way out, man, I'm not your fool. I know that I can win, that's why we're going in. We're new to hip-hop, but you hear that sick din. Keep the table spinning like a top, and you know I won't stop. Your song will flop, and mine'll make it right up to the top. Cause we got that beat, it's bringing on the heat. Don't tell me cause I know that we ain't so street. But you do know that we got that flow, shooting those haters like a bow. Yeah, I see you, ho, you think you got a lot, but you do know that you have to go. You think you hot, but you are not. Check out all the lava in this pot. Yeah, you got caught, no more ennui. Your musical attempts were all for naught. Bring it back to me, the name is she. Tickets to my show cost a big ass fee. My perfect woman got a double D, and one day she gonna get a degree. Do I know about girls? Let me tell you this here. Every day I do curls, so I got no fear. You will freeze when my plan unfurls, caught in the headlights like a deer. I'm the big cheese and I ain't no steer, so put your attention right down here. I do this with ease, so if you please, I'ma put the music in your ear. You so confused, you scratch your head lice. Cause I'm so rich and you so poor, brown rice. I go to school, I got a grant, cheap price. You think you're cool, you got it made? Roll the dice.